I wanted a break from working in a rental house, and I got really lucky. And Ray Thurston, who hired me at White's back in the early '70s, was going to New Brunswick to do a show called Children of a Lesser God, and he had to put a crew together and asked me if I wanted to go. And I said, yeah, I'd love to. And I had had my union card for 12 or 13 years and never really worked on set. So, I mean, I knew all the equipment from working at White's, but I never actually physically used it. So, in the 70s, there was only, oh my God, Rabco had Richmond Street and Church Street. I think TDF had one stage, maybe two. There was, I don't, Sherman Laws didn't exist at that time. There wasn't that many, actually. When Bill White Sr. passed away, Ray took over the company. And we had been working together before that because my office was right next to theirs. And Bill White Sr. would come over to my office and use my office to make phone calls and use our telex machine because he didn't have one. And by doing that, I got to go over to White's and use their tools. And that's how I got to know all the guys. What were they? I remember the first or second year we got into camera, we ended up being involved with Caleb Deschanel, and I'll never forget that. He sent in these cameras from LA. Was it VistaVision or CinemaScope or something? I can't remember. And I'd never seen anything like that in my life. And I think they were at Fort Erie Racetrack they were shooting. Yeah, it was Caleb Deschanel. It was Black Stallion. And that was one of the first shows I ever actually, yeah. I didn't work on it, but it was one of the first shows that I remember us doing. And then I guess the next thing was, I only remember this because a friend of mine, Mark Irwin, shot it. It was a film called Blood and Guts. And Mark was the first guy to use our XR35 on it. And I remember that because of that. It was a boxing movie. And then I remember Ozzie Morris coming to Canada to do a movie called Equus. And he was a big name at that time. He still is. And other than that, I remember there was 5 people. There was Marilyn Stonehouse, production manager, Tony Lucibello, first AD, Bert Dunk, DOP, Chris Holmes Sr., gaffer, and Ronnie Gillum, key grip. They were kind of the godfathers of the crew at my time. Before that, it was Bill White Sr., Bobby Milligan, John Eldridge, guys like that. That's kind of Charlie Goodchild. The big deal here is 2.5 hours on a plane. You know, if you're going to Toronto and you're an LA producer, you're wasting a whole day. Whereas here, you can get up early in the morning, come here in the morning. You could conceivably be home at night for dinner. Plus the studios. There's probably more studios within a walking distance of this studio complex we're on right now than there are in all of Toronto. If I take this and the one across the street, there's not that many studios in Toronto.
Which place do you have the best memories in Toronto right now?
Toronto.
Really?
Oh, no question. No question. Because it was the start of it. I remember Ray Thurston had to go to Montreal to take a Ritter fan and ask me if I wanted to go for a ride. And I'd never been on a film set in my life. And so we got in the truck, pulled in this Ritter fan, and we get to Quebec, we get to Montreal, and we walked through an archway, and the minute I got to the other side of the archway, I'm in 1945 Europe, Second World War. Martin Sheen is Private Slovak, and it's the only execution they ever did of an American soldier in the Second World War. But just walking through the archway, I went back 25 years in time. And I said, this is what I want to do. I want to be in this game.